Ron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron is here. Welcome back for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. Guys, why can't Scientology recruit new members these days? I was looking at the live chat as I was getting ready for this, and someone said, because young people have the internet and watch YouTube, and you would be correct. Ding, ding, that is the right answer. Someone sent me a clip of a little bit of a prank that was done at the Scientology Test Center on Hollywood Boulevard this week. And I was like, oh my God. If this, I'm going to share the video with you. If this does not serve as an explanation, at least in part, for why Scientology cannot recruit young members, or at least one of the best examples of why this other answer is true, because the young people have internet and watch YouTube, then I don't know what does. I also wanted to start out by answering this question by saying, you know, the reason Scientology can't recruit young members is largely because of South Park. But that feeds right into this other answer of because young people have the internet and watch YouTube. And the truth is, most young people watch their TV on YouTube or other streaming platforms on their phone anyway. So it's all kind of the same answer. But I'll tell you, the South Park episode, in my opinion, the South Park episode about Scientology and where they put into the cartoon what Scientologists actually believe on the upper confidential Scientology levels. That for me is what broke out into the mainstream to a young audience information about Scientology that would just make that an entire generation and all generations after that practically impervious to any recruiting efforts by Scientology. And it's only gotten worse for Scientology ever since that point. I mean, and by the way, Scientology went after the South Park guys hardcore. They've spoken about it. But as far as how far and wide the South Park stuff has gone, even my 20-minute reaction video to that episode done just a couple years ago, years and years and years after the South Park episode actually aired, is one of the top viewed videos on my channel. 1.3 million views is me doing a 20-minute reaction video to certain sections of the South Park episode. Absolutely incredible. You know, the young people these days, the kids, what the kids are doing these days, it's Instagram, it's TikTok. I was talking to my kids this week about what we did in LA last week at the LAPD commissioners meeting. And I was explaining that it was Jenna, it was Serge, it was me. And then I started to explain to them who my friend William is, Streets LA, Scientology audit, Film the Police. And I was trying to explain it to them. And they go, oh, no, we know who you're talking about. I go, oh, you've seen him on my videos? And they're like, no, we've seen him on TikTok. So even my own kids are being exposed to Scientology protest accounts, anti-Scientology info on TikTok. They're getting that more on TikTok. Even, I mean, they're spending more time getting that kind of information in the time they spend on TikTok than they even do in the time they spend watching my videos, which I'm guessing is just not that much time. Okay, let's see. There's also another thing. Again, I am going to share this clip with you of what they did. I'll tell you, I had a little bit of hesitation on sharing this clip because this clip, I don't want to say that I actually endorse the type of pranking or shenanigans that are in the clip. Although I am a fan of it, like on a consumer level, I'm a fan of this type of stuff. That doesn't mean I want to encourage more people to do it, mainly because I don't want to encourage people to put themselves into a situation where they could possibly get arrested for trespassing or something like this. But the fact that Scientology even has to worry about what you're about to see is actually yet another answer to the question about why can't Scientology recruit young people? Because it's gotten to the point where it seems like the only people that ever go into a Scientology building, organization, test center are people doing some sort of undercover reporting or pulling some kind of pranks. So Scientology's own paranoia and their own security concerns is gradually causing them to shut down how willing they are to just let new people in, when of course you have to let tons and tons of new people in if you're going to have any members, because there's a massive attrition rate on new people getting into Scientology. Like 90% of the people who get into Scientology are out within 12 months. 90% of the people never make it past introductory courses. And so if they're having to be very careful and paranoid and selective about who they let in the first place, well, you can imagine it eventually has a hugely detrimental effect on the number of Scientologists. And that is one of the many reasons why the number of Scientologists in the world today is less than it has ever been since 1954. And people are always surprised when I say this, except for longtime viewers of this channel. There's only about 25,000 Scientologists in the entire world. I've been meaning for a while to update the video that I did about this, breaking down the numbers, continent by continent, org by org. I think that when I did the video last, I said a generous estimate of 30,000. The number is shrinking fast. And we know this because we're able to be in touch with a lot of Scientology insiders, people who are under the radar, people who want to leave but aren't quite ready to leave yet. And, thanks to the SPTV Foundation, that helps people who are leaving Scientology. So by being able to communicate with people who are still inside the bubble, we are able to see just how fast Scientology is shrinking. Okay, so let's see. The account that we are going to look at today, I'm just going to highlight their Instagram and their YouTube. So I don't know how to say this. Wave. That's the Instagram account. This is the YouTube account. You can see lots of subscribers. Let's see. Followers on Instagram, 163,000. Subscribers on YouTube, 332,000. Okay, let's see. Guys, the longtime viewers of this channel are going to recognize some of the people in this video. Mostly Twilla, the one and only, the famous Twilla from the test center. I don't think that's her real name. I just think that's the nickname the protesters gave her, Streets and Jess and Chris and everything like that. I'm just going to reiterate, guys, on a consumer level, I'm a fan of this type of stuff. On an activist level, I'm not exactly condoning or endorsing it. You guys make up your own minds. Let me know what you think about this. But realize, as you watch here, it's not like these guys barged in uninvited to the Hollywood Test Center. They were invited in, okay? Because the Scientology recruiters are out there on the sidewalks handing out tickets to come in for a free Dianetics film or a free personality test, a free test evaluation. This is what they're doing on Hollywood Boulevard. They're trying to bring people in. And this is what ends up happening. Here we go.
Get out! Oh my God!
You're brainwashing people, and this is a scam. You don't tell us what to do. They gave us a free ticket, ma'am. They invited us.
Oh, sir, who's touching me? Out of this. Go out.
I gotta take a shit.
Get out!
Oh my God!
You guys are all brainwashing people.
Out.
Yeah. Lower your toes. Oh, my brother's back here.
Hey, get the fuck out.
Oh shit! Yo! Show us how to get in, please.
Yeah.
They're gonna show us how to get in.
How are you doing, sir?
Well, they were inside.
No, we don't know how to go inside.
Come on
She
in.
said we can go
Come on
in.
in.
Yeah, we can go in.
She just said come.
Get out of here now.
Yo, this guy's OD is.
Get out!
Wow. Okay. There you have it. So now, I don't know, guys. I don't know. This generation, I don't know. I don't want to sound like the old man, the get off my yard guy. I have to be honest that when I see videos like that, I do enjoy them. Only because it's relatively harmless. It is obnoxious as hell. And that's the part where, my hesitation enters in a little bit. Like, Yes, that is unbelievably obnoxious. And yet there's no real victim. Guys, this video right here is the first time I have ever seen the inside of the Hollywood Test Center. I have never seen the inside of that building before. Not when I was in Scientology, not when I was in the Sea Organization, never. So their funny little prank video that they did, I've always wondered what the inside of that building looked like. I've only ever seen inside that building from the point of view of protesters who are on Hollywood Boulevard, and the doors are open and you can sort of see inside. Those guys got into the back of the building. The other reason I enjoy seeing videos like this is I know the effect that it has on the organizational side. It makes them try to come up with some sort of system, some sort of method to prevent stuff like that from happening. And it's just not possible to do that without having a negative effect on the number of people you can end up getting in the door, you know. And something like this might even cause them to implement some sort of an order or a policy of simply not handing out tickets to people who look like they're streamers. Like Scientology always thinks you can fix anything. They're always going to issue an order to try to fix anything. And people being embarrassed and humiliated like this on camera, where you have kids being screamed at and cursed at and threatened with mace by a third-party security guard. Like, this is actually humiliating for Scientology. And so anyway, I just wanted to share this with you. The fact that this phenomena is that on the internet, people are more likely to find videos pranking and punking and ridiculing Scientology than they are ever to find something that would ever try to convince someone to join Scientology. And that was actually another one of the points that I had put in my notes here to talk about. You guys will notice, are there any Scientologists talking about Scientology on YouTube? Even one. I'm not talking about like Grant Cardone being asked about Scientology in an interview and he gives some sort of a non-answer answer and tries to move on to the next question. I'm talking about, is there even one single Scientologist on all of YouTube who sits down in a long form, open format, and actually talks about Scientology in any way that would ever convince someone to join? The answer is no. And it's because they're actually not allowed to. They're actually not allowed to. And it's funny to say that because I know if a Scientologist were watching this video, they'd be like, what? That's not true. That's not true. There's no rule that says you can't talk about Scientology. And you're like, technically speaking, there is no rule that says you can't talk about Scientology publicly. The problem is that there are rules about whether a Scientologist can be exposed to or interact with Scientology's confidential levels. And the broad public, mostly all they know of Scientology is the confidential levels. Xenu, body thetans, volcanoes, hydrogen bombs. Those are all highly confidential stuff in Scientology. You don't learn about them until OT3. And so that's why it's like, if a Scientologist were to, without seeking permission, get onto YouTube, somehow engage in some long form open conversation about Scientology where they're being asked about things like Xenu, body thetans, Shelley Miscavige, David Miscavige beating people up, OT 9 and 10, how L. Ron Hubbard died, whether Pat and Annie Broker were really supposed to take over Scientology. These are all things Scientologists aren't allowed to be exposed to. They're not allowed to discuss. And so by default, you end up where Scientologists genuinely are not allowed to be on this platform, having open, honest conversations about Scientology. And that is yet another reason why Scientology just cannot recruit young people. All right, guys, there are like 2 other videos I wanted to get done tonight, but it's already 8 o'clock and I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Stick around, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Thank you to everyone for hanging out with me, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, Oh, dancing for my love. Then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe